feels like an eternity has passed since I last truly spoke to you, or perhaps, since I last truly tried to speak to you. The words, you see, have always been there, a swirling tempest in my mind and heart, but they've never quite found their way to my lips, or to the page, in a manner that felt worthy of their immense weight. It's been such an impossibly long time that I honestly don't even know where to begin to unravel this tangled thread of unspoken thoughts and unexpressed emotions. There is so much, an ocean of feelings, that I've yearned to share with you, to lay bare at your feet, and yet, each time I gathered the courage, each time I reached for the right phrase, the words would simply dissolve, like mist in the morning sun. They wouldn't come out right, they wouldn't capture the depth, the intensity, the sheer overwhelming truth of what resides within me. And what resides within me, above all else, is the profound ache of missing you. I have missed you, my dearest, more than any combination of letters or sounds could ever hope to convey. It's a missing that transcends mere absence, it's a constant, palpable void that your presence once filled. You have never, not for a single fleeting moment, truly left my thoughts. Not even for a solitary day, a quiet hour, or a hurried minute. Every single day, without fail, with a rhythm as steady and unwavering as the beating of my own heart, you have been present in my mind, a constant, luminous star in my internal firmament. You have resided, deeply and irrevocably, within the sacred chambers of my heart. I have carried your memory with me, like a precious, irreplaceable jewel, through every single moment of my existence since we last truly connected. Whether I was consumed by the relentless demands of work, my mind a whirlwind of tasks and deadlines, or whether I found myself utterly alone, enveloped by the profound quietude of the night, your essence was there. It was a silent companion, a gentle echo, a persistent whisper that reminded me of a warmth I had known, a connection I craved. Every day, with a hopeful yet hesitant spirit, I would tell myself, today, I will finally send that message. The one I've been meaning to write, the one that holds so much of what I feel. And each day, with a mixture of anticipation and dread, I would sit down, my fingers hovering over the keys, and begin to compose it. I would write it, carefully crafting each sentence, pouring my soul onto the digital canvas. Then, I would read it back, scrutinizing every word, every phrase, wondering if it truly conveyed the immensity of my feelings. And then, with a sigh that carried the weight of 1,000 unspoken words, I would delete it. Over and over again, this ritual of creation and destruction played out, a silent battle between my yearning heart and my fearful mind. I hesitated, you see, because the uncertainty was a formidable wall. I didn't know how you would react. The possibilities stretched before me, each one a different path into the unknown. Would you be utterly surprised, perhaps even a little bewildered by this sudden outpouring? Would confusion cloud your eyes as you tried to reconcile this unexpected confession with the person you thought you knew? Or, and this was a fear that often chilled me to the bone, would anger flash in your gaze, a sense of betrayal or annoyance at this intrusion into your peace? Or, in a scenario that felt almost too good to be true, would you simply smile, a knowing, gentle smile, and think to yourself, "Ah, that's so like them." To say something so utterly unexpected, so completely out of the blue. The profound fear of not knowing, of stepping into that void of your potential reaction, held me back, binding me in chains of my own making. But my feelings, resilient and relentless, kept getting stronger. They swelled within me, a tide that could no longer be contained by the flimsy dams of my self-imposed silence. I simply couldn't keep them inside anymore. It became an unbearable burden, a secret too heavy for one heart to bear. No matter how desperately I tried to distract myself, to divert the relentless current of my thoughts. It was an exercise in futility. I threw myself into work with a fervor that bordered on obsession, hoping that sheer exhaustion would quell the persistent echoes of your presence. I stayed busy with an endless parade of tasks, meticulously filling every waking moment, every conceivable space in my schedule with anything that could occupy my mind. I thought, naively, that if I could just stay occupied enough, the memories of you would eventually fade, like old photographs bleached by the sun. I believed that the persistent ache in my chest, a dull, constant throb, would finally ease, would finally recede into a manageable discomfort. But it didn't. It never did. The moment things grew quiet, the instant I found myself alone, whether in the stillness of my apartment or the quiet hum of my own thoughts, the memories came rushing back. They didn't just trickle, they surged, a powerful, undeniable flood, carrying with them even more intensity than before. You were always there, an indelible imprint on the landscape of my mind, like a soft whisper carried on the breeze, a familiar presence that I simply couldn't turn away from, no matter how hard I tried. I even attempted to forge new connections, to build new walls around my heart. I tried making new friends, venturing out into social settings, meeting people, engaging in conversations, and laughing, or at least, pretending to laugh with a genuine lightness. But even then, amidst the camaraderie and the noise, my thoughts would inevitably drift back to you, like a compass needle inexorably drawn to its true north. Every conversation, no matter how engaging on the surface, felt a little hollow, a little empty, without the unique cadence of your voice, without the depth and resonance that only your words could bring. Every smile I saw, no matter how bright or genuine, served only to remind me of yours, a smile that held a particular magic, a warmth that lingered in my memory. Even when I was surrounded by a multitude of others, a vibrant tapestry of human connection, I couldn't help but keep thinking about how profoundly different, how immeasurably more wonderful, everything would feel if you were there instead. Nothing, absolutely nothing, felt quite right without you. You, my dearest, have unknowingly, and perhaps unwittingly, become the very standard by which I now measure every feeling, every connection, every fleeting moment of joy. It's as if my heart has recalibrated itself, and now everything is weighed against the unparalleled experience of knowing you, of being with you, of feeling your presence. And it is this profound truth that leads me to the most terrifying, yet most liberating, confession: I love you, sweetheart. I love you so deeply, with an intensity that both exhilarates and scares me to my very core. It's hard for me to say it out loud, to give voice to these words that have lived in the silent chambers of my soul for so long. Maybe it's because I've tried for what feels like an eternity to deny it, to hide from it, to pretend like it wasn't real, like this burgeoning emotion was merely a figment of my imagination, a temporary aberration. I convinced myself, with a stubbornness that now seems almost comical, that if I ignored it long enough, if I simply turned my back on it, it would eventually dissipate, fade away into nothingness. But I was wrong. So utterly, irrevocably wrong. The more I ran from this love, the more I tried to outpace its relentless pursuit, the stronger it became. It was a force of nature, an undeniable current that pulled me deeper into its embrace. I failed miserably at protecting my heart, at building those impenetrable walls I so desperately sought to erect. Because without even trying, without any conscious effort, you found your way into it. You simply existed, and in your existence, you claimed a space within me that had, unknowingly, been waiting for you all along. Saying I love you now feels like finally taking a deep, ragged breath after holding my breath for far, far too long, so long that my lungs ached with the deprivation. It's like dropping a heavy, invisible weight that I didn't even realize I was carrying, a burden that had settled deep within my bones, making every step a struggle. It feels right. It feels profoundly honest. And more than anything, it feels long, long overdue. I often find myself lost in reverie, imagining what it would truly feel like to stand directly in front of you, to finally articulate these sacred words. Not in a fleeting message, not from the safe distance of a screen, but face to face, with my eyes locked unyieldingly on yours. Just to witness your reaction, to absorb every subtle shift in your expression, to feel the raw, unfiltered energy that would undoubtedly crackle in that moment. I think you'd be surprised, perhaps even stunned into silence. Maybe, just maybe, you wouldn't believe me at first, a flicker of disbelief dancing in your eyes. Perhaps you'd even laugh, a soft, incredulous chuckle, and say, "This is a joke, right? You're playing a trick on me." After all, who would ever think that your silly, awkward old friend, the one who always seemed so reserved, so detached, would fall so deeply, so hopelessly, so irrevocably in love with you? But I have. I truly, truly have. And it is, without a shadow of a doubt, the most beautiful, the most terrifying, and the most precious feeling I have ever known. It's a paradox, this love, a breathtaking tapestry woven from threads of joy and vulnerability. I don't know where you are right now in this vast, unpredictable world, or what your life looks like these days. Maybe you're thriving, surrounded by happiness and contentment, living a life filled with purpose and light. Or perhaps, you're navigating struggles, facing challenges that weigh heavily on your spirit. I don't know, and the not knowing is a constant ache. But I do know this, with an unwavering certainty that resonates deep within my soul. I wish you knew, truly knew, just how much you mean to me. I wish you could see yourself through my eyes, to witness the incredible light you effortlessly bring into the world, a light that illuminates even the darkest corners. I wish you could understand how effortlessly you made me smile, how a simple glance, a shared moment, could chase away any shadow. And more than anything, I wish you knew how safe and how profoundly seen I felt whenever we talked, as if in your presence, I could finally shed my armor and simply be myself. You once told me something, a seemingly casual observation, that has stuck in my memory with an almost prophetic resonance. You said, with that knowing glint in your eye, that the people who always claim they'll never fall in love usually fall the hardest. I remember laughing it off back then, dismissing it as just one of your many quirky, insightful sayings, a playful remark that held no personal significance for me. But here I am, standing before you, or at least, metaphorically speaking, the perfect, living embodiment of that very truth. I've fallen for you harder, more completely, more irrevocably than I ever thought possible. And now, with the clarity that comes from this profound realization, I wish more than anything that I could go back in time, to that moment, and tell you what I was too scared, too foolish, too utterly unprepared to admit before. Someday, I hope, with every fiber of my being, that I'll get the chance to see you again. I hope that when that day comes, I'll have cultivated the courage, the inner strength, to tell you all of this in person. To articulate how I truly feel, to explain how long I've harbored these emotions, and to convey the incredible depth to which this love runs within me. I want to look into your eyes, those windows to your beautiful soul, and let my heart speak freely, unburdened by fear or hesitation. Until that day comes, I will hold on to this feeling, this precious, undeniable love, and I will treasure it, like a secret garden within my soul. Even if I never get the chance to tell you in person, just the profound knowledge that I loved someone like you, someone so extraordinary, is enough to make me feel incredibly lucky, incredibly blessed. This love, my love for you, is not just a fleeting emotion, it is beautiful, it is raw, it is undeniably honest, and it is absolutely priceless. And for all of this, for the long silence, for the hidden feelings, for the distance I created, I am truly, deeply sorry, my love. I know, with a clarity that now pierces through the fog of my past actions, that I've been acting distant for a very long time. I've been meticulously putting up walls, brick by painful brick, constructing an impenetrable fortress around my heart. I've been hiding behind a mask of not caring, a facade of indifference, pretending with every fiber of my being that nothing you did, nothing you said, nothing about your very existence affected me in the slightest. But that, my dearest, couldn't be further from the truth. I've been acting like I didn't care, like your actions, your words, your radiant smiles directed at others, meant absolutely nothing to me. I've been pretending that it didn't matter, that I was utterly unaffected when someone else, with a hopeful glint in their eye, tried to ask you out, tried to step into the space I secretly coveted. But inside, deep within the hidden recesses of my heart, it did matter. It always has. The truth, the liberating, exhausting truth, is that I'm tired. I'm utterly exhausted from pretending, from constantly performing this elaborate act of indifference. I'm weary from acting like I don't see you, like I don't feel the profound things I feel whenever you are near, whenever you are in my thoughts. I've been fighting my own emotions, waging a silent, internal war, trying desperately to keep them locked away, convinced that staying distant, staying aloof, would somehow protect me from getting hurt. But all it's done, all this self-imposed isolation has achieved, is to keep me from being honest with you, and perhaps even more importantly, from being honest with myself. I've hidden my feelings behind this mask for so long, played the part so convincingly, that even I, at times, started to believe the act, started to confuse the facade with the genuine article. But not anymore. The charade is over. I want to be real. I want to drop this act, this heavy, suffocating mask, and let you see me, the authentic me, the person who has been silently loving you from afar. Because the truth is, I care. I care so much more than I've ever let on, more than I've allowed myself to admit even to myself until recently. I care about you deeply, with an intensity that defies easy explanation. I care about your feelings, the subtle shifts in your moods, your moments of profound joy, and your quiet periods of sadness. I care about your quiet moments of contemplation and your bursts of infectious laughter. My heart aches when I see you upset, when your brow is furrowed in thought, when you seem lost in your own world, or when you appear to be feeling lonely. And on the flip side, I feel a genuine, unadulterated joy, a lightness in my spirit, when I see you laughing, truly laughing, with an uninhibited delight. My heart swells when I catch you having fun with your friends, when you're completely immersed in the moment, and especially when I see your eyes light up about something you truly love, something that ignites your passion. And then there's that indescribable feeling, that subtle tremor in my soul, when I notice you looking at me from across the room, thinking perhaps that I'm not aware, that your gaze goes unnoticed. And yes, I've noticed. I've noticed every single time you've tried to catch my attention, every subtle gesture, every lingering glance, and I am so profoundly sorry that I acted like I didn't. I noticed. I always did. It hurts me now, a deep, sharp pang of regret, to admit that I've behaved as though I was completely unaware of your presence, as though you didn't matter to me, as though your existence held no significance in my world. That couldn't be more untrue. In reality, I've liked you for a very, very long time, far longer than you probably realize, far longer than I even allowed myself to consciously acknowledge. Even before I suspected, even before a glimmer of hope suggested that you might feel the same way, I already harbored deep, undeniable feelings for you. But I stayed quiet. I held back, my heart a prisoner of my own uncertainty, because I wasn't sure how you truly felt. I didn't want to make a move, to expose my vulnerable heart, only to be met with the crushing weight of rejection or the chilling indifference that would surely follow. So, I chose to keep my feelings to myself, to play it safe, to protect myself by acting cold, by maintaining that impenetrable facade. But seeing you begin to return those feelings, noticing the small, almost imperceptible signs, the gentle gestures that spoke volumes, the warmth that began to infuse your smile when you looked at me, that has changed everything. Knowing now, with a certainty that fills me with both exhilaration and trepidation, that you feel the same way, or at least, that the possibility exists, makes me deeply regret all the time I spent hiding, all the precious moments we could have shared, all the laughter and connection we could have experienced, if only I had been brave enough to tell you sooner. I want to apologize, from the deepest part of my being, for being immature, for not knowing how to handle these overwhelming emotions in the right way, with the grace and honesty they deserved. I was scared. Terrified, in fact. Scared of losing you before I ever even had a chance with you, scared of letting myself be vulnerable, of exposing the tender, unprotected parts of my soul. But I'm done. I'm done letting fear control my actions, dictate my choices, and silence my heart. I want you to see the real me, the person who exists behind that cool, detached exterior, the one who has been silently, profoundly loving you from afar. I want to show you the heart you've unknowingly been holding for so long, a heart that has been yours, completely and irrevocably, for longer than I can even remember. You'll see that I'm not perfect, not by any stretch of the imagination. I have my flaws, my insecurities, my moments of doubt. But I do have a beautiful heart, one that is fiercely loyal, deeply caring, and profoundly honest. One that has been yours, in spirit, for a lifetime. I promise never to hurt you with my words or my actions, to never intentionally cause you pain. I promise to treat you with the utmost respect, with unwavering kindness, and with an affection that knows no bounds. I know I've been a bit possessive too, a shadow of insecurity that I've struggled with, and for that, I'm also truly sorry. It's just that the mere thought of losing you, of someone else stepping into my place in your life, of another person claiming the space I yearn to occupy, scared me beyond measure. But I understand now, with a newfound clarity, that love isn't about control, it's about trust, about open and honest communication, and about infinite patience. I'm actively working on managing those emotions better, on nurturing a healthier, more mature understanding of what true love entails, and I promise I'll continue to grow, for you, for us, for the beautiful future I hope we can build together.